Hi, welcome to the Penguin Post newspaper podcast. Today we're interviewing Chklovski. She started a company called Technovation about 14 years ago and is still going strong. Technovation is a company that helps girls learn cool problems through technology. Let's ask her some questions.
Why did you decide to start a company and help other girls?
That's a good question. I think there are two options. One is to join a company and the other is to start it yourself. And I didn't find a company that was only focused on girls and people who don't typically have too many things, like opportunities and good education and a good school. And so I thought that I needed to do it. I didn't want to wait for somebody. And I also felt that every country in the world, there's a problem because girls are not given, people don't think that they can solve problems with technology or with engineering. And I think there's no reason why. So that's why I thought that I would bring together a team of people that would just inspire girls like you.
How did you stay motivated to keep going?
That's also a very good question. So starting something new is not easy. And I think you guys have some sense of that, right? Like your newspaper has been a project that you've been doing for how many weeks now?
17
weeks. And do you feel excited about it every day?
Not really.
What about Amelie? What about you?
Sometimes I'm really focused on playing with Elliot or watching something on TV that sometimes I don't want to make an article. So sometimes I don't really want to do it.
And I think that's true of grown-ups too. There are many times when, especially when I have a team of people, and like you guys have a team, right? And each person has a different idea. When you are trying to convince someone of the other idea, it's not as if what's in your brain is exactly what's in Phoebe's brain or in Amelie's brain. And so if you have 4 people, that's hard. If you have 20 people, that's a little harder. And then you have to get people to give you money, right? And so, because we actually have a job, like say for instance, if you wanted to sell your newspaper and start to make money, then you can start to pay the team. But then as you grow, it gets harder and harder and harder. And then some days if people say, oh, I don't like your idea, it hurts your feelings, And so that's the part that you have to see inside, like, am I solving a big problem? Am I helping someone? And what else would I do if I didn't do this? And so when I feel unmotivated, I think about, well, what would I do? And I'm not sure I would find something that's as exciting as inspiring young girls to do awesome things.
What are some things that you learned?
What are some things that I learned? I learn something every day. I think I'm amazed by what young kids are able to do. I would never have thought that girls your age, are you like 7 and 8? Right? Would be able to do an interview and record it and do a video and publish a newspaper online. That's amazing. And so I am always inspired by what people are able to do, and that's super, super exciting. I'm also learning how to code in Python. It's a language and it's very boring. But then I want to understand, well, why does everybody do it? And so um, that's one thing that I'm learning. I'm also learning how to train my dog. My dog bites other dogs or wants to bite other dogs, and that's very hard. And so I'm trying to understand dog behavior, and it's not easy because I want the dog to do something and the dog doesn't do it. So then I very much like humans. Um, and so you have to understand animal behavior, and I'm trying to understand how animals think and talk, and it's very exciting. I love the fact that you can teach yourself any new thing. And I like making videos too. That's one more thing that I'm trying to learn. What are you guys learning?
I'm learning how to keep my room clean.
Oh, I haven't learned that yet, Emily. So that's work in progress. Tori, are you learning something new? Oh, you're muted.
Not really.
Not really? You did doing any summer camps?
Well, I'm doing art camps.
Ooh, are you learning how to draw on the iPad?
Yeah.
I'm learning how to use this app called Procreate, and that's super, super cool. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I'm doing it on the art.
See, now you can teach me next time because I want to learn how to use all the different features. Carmen, are you learning something?
I'm learning how to. I bake more now and train the dog, but I don't do that a lot.
Do you learn anything from these interviews? Talking to people? I know you guys have learned, you've done quite a few interviews.
Well, I learned about like a lot of. I kind of didn't know what paleontology was at first until we interviewed all the people.
You guys know what a non-profit is? That's what my company is. So a for-profit would be, say for instance, you made some cookies and I want to buy them. So Carmen, you make the cookies for me and I give you, say, $4. Now, if you had a non-profit bakery, maybe Amelie gives you money for the cookies so that I can get them without having to pay. Because say, for instance, I don't have enough money and I really, really want cookies. Or maybe that's not such a good example. So usually nonprofits are for big problems that either the people themselves don't have money for, or problems that are so big that nobody wants to immediately think about doing a startup for. And so these are social problems, people like poverty, and when girls don't get the right type of education or things like that. So 3 people are involved in exchanging something instead of 2 people. So one person can be the donor who donates money to the nonprofit so that they can do their programs for free. So like you don't sell your newspaper, and maybe you can be a nonprofit and somebody can donate money to you guys so that you can give your news, you can keep making your newspaper and more children can get to use it for free or to read from it and to learn from it. Am I boring you guys?
No.
You can say yes.
What was the most difficult part of starting a nonprofit?
I think in the beginning, when you start something, it's so small. You've only done one program and everybody says, come back to me in 3 years, because they want to test you. They want to see whether you are strong enough, whether you can do big things. And everybody wants you, they don't want to say, give you money for maybe to do 1 program, 2 programs, reach 5 children. They want to see lots and lots and lots and lots of you. So how do you get from being very small to being very big? And that is very, very difficult. I think you guys may have the same issue where when you first started your newspaper, there were a few, and then only a few people are reading it. And it takes a lot of persistence to keep making more content and more people join. So I think that was hard to have the motivation to keep going when nobody believes in you and nobody believes in your idea. And I myself, I'm not sure whether the idea will work. And my idea was to basically have children work with their parents and build things and learn things. Um, and now it's been hard because of the pandemic and the COVID. I think everybody is suffering, and so it's harder to have people donate to us so that we can keep doing our programs for free. But when I talk to people like you, that's super exciting and very cool and very inspiring because you guys are doing hard things too.
What is the difference from a non-profit and a organization?
I just answered that. Do I need to do that again? Amelina, you can share what you thought I said, or is that too hard? Remember what I said about the non-profit and the for-profit?
No.
No? Let me try again. So say for instance, in a community, somebody may not have, if they lost their job and they don't have money for food, where can they go? Where do you think they can go? How do you think they can get food?
They can go to somewhere that gives food out for free.
Totally. Exactly. Very good. So many times it's called a food bank or a or a or it could be just kind people, like restaurants that give food for free, or it could be religious institutions like churches that give food for. And I know, like in India, there are these gurudwaras that give food for free. But then how do they get money to be able to make the food and give it out for free? Because it's not a restaurant where the person who gets the food is paying the money. So that's the money comes from people who donate. Like, have you guys ever gone to a website and donated to a nonprofit, like to a charity or anything like that? So that's when you are just giving your money, or your parents are giving money to support somebody who needs it. And that organization, that nonprofit, basically it has that's the role. So instead of you giving me money and I'm giving you food or books or giving you like helping you meet a doctor, maybe somebody else gives me money so I can do my work for free. But I know it's a confusing idea. We can move on.
That was so cool. We learned a lot from you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. And if you feel unmotivated about your newspaper, just think how many people on the internet can look at your videos and be inspired by what you are doing. When you started, did you think you'd ever be able to do this?
No.
No, right? Like, what if in February of this year, I came to you and I said, by July, you guys would be reporters or have an amazing newspaper that has amazing content and so many people from around the world looking at your website and people reading and learning, and you are interviewing all these experts. What would you have said to me? You're like, not me. Right? So you guys can be very, very proud of what you've done. So good job. Don't feel unmotivated. Whenever you feel bored, just think about who can you interview. Oh, Carmen's already bored. Anyway, all right. Bye, guys. You're awesome. Don't give up.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.